Hello everyone. Today I will be going over how to set up Revit collaboration using Workshare. Workshare is a method that allows you to collaborate on Revit projects with team members, regardless of size. You will be using Workshare as an option for your final project in practicum. So to start, we highly recommend going through the PSU VDI system. On VDI, they have Revit already downloaded, and they also have Autodesk Desktop Connector. Having Autodesk Desktop Connector is very important in the Workshare method, as it allows you to sync files and projects very similarly like how you would with like a OneDrive or a Google Drive, but with your Autodesk Construction Cloud account. So to begin, I have this page up of the AE VDI connection, and we're going to go ahead and log in. All right, so we are signed into the PSU VDI, and you should have gotten an email from Dr. G sending an invitation to Revit Revit Cloud Work Sharing. If you click that email to access the new products, it will pull up this page, and you'll see all the products that you have access to. You should see Revit Cloud Work Sharing. If you do not see Revit Cloud Work Sharing, please contact the AE teams and we will get you set up with it. You should also have Autodesk Desktop Connector. Since I'm on VDI, it's still asking me to install it. However, it's already technically installed on VDI, so that's no problem, but you should also see the Autodesk Desktop Connector. If you do not want to go through VDI, you can download Autodesk Desktop Connector locally on your own personal computer. Please do that if you want to use the work sharing method. All right, so now that that is covered, I will now show you how to do setup and then open up a project and get to work sharing. I'm going to close this page. To begin the Revit Workshare, you should connect your Autodesk Desktop Connector. To do that, you go down to this little Show Hidden Icons arrow, click it, and then left click this box with the D. This is the Autodesk Desktop Connector build icon. So we're going to click that, and it should open this. It says no projects are connected. Just select your projects you want on your desktop. So you're going to select the projects, and it will show you the PSU AE, and then you can select the project that applies to you. All your projects should always be under the AE-221 Fall 2025. So I'm going to click Save, and it should be connecting. While it's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and open Revit. Again, having that Autodesk Desktop Connector is a very important step in the setup for work sharing. If you do not do that step for this work sharing method, it will not work. So please make sure that your Autodesk Desktop Connector is connected. Now that Revit is open, I will now show you how to create a project and then share it and then access it. So if you're starting a new project, you're going to want to do new, click the template and click OK. All right. And then then Revit opens up this new project. And we're going to start to make some changes. Say we're building a house with a couple of different rooms. Sure. All right. It's all pretty arbitrary. So then we'll say, okay, I now want to collaborate with a team member. How do I share this using the Revit work sharing method? So you're going to want to go up to the Collaborate tab, click left click on the mouse, go over here to Collaborate, click it, next that, click Collaborate. Okay, yeah, we can go ahead and save the model to continue, it's fine. We'll just save it as project 1. And I will say test. VDI can be a little bit slow in the beginning. However, the more you're in it, the faster it should get. So just keep that in mind if you are working on the VDI. Again, you can bypass VDI, but make sure that you have Revit and Autodesk Desktop Connector downloaded locally on your computer prior to that, and make sure that your Autodesk Desktop Connector is actually connected. So then after clicking the Collaborate tab, it says that you are enabling collaboration. This will allow multiple people to work on the same Revit model simultaneously. We're going to click in the cloud. Click OK. All right, and then we will be saving as a cloud model. Make sure again that you're in the PSU AE-221 Fall 2025. We're going to click the project files, and we're going to say test Workshare. And we're going to say save. So doing this creates the cloud Workshare model, and then it will then show up in your ACC account under the file that you saved it as. Anybody who has permissions to that file or to that folder will see your saved file. So for your teammates, they know who's been working on it last by going to that folder and seeing that so-and-so was last in this model. They changed it at whatever X time. Again, saving it in VDI can be a little bit slow in the beginning, but as you continue through the project, it should get faster. Okay, so it says that project 1 test has been saved to that specific folder. You can now collaborate on this model with your project team. Great, so we will then close that. And let's say that we still want to work on a couple of changes. Maybe I don't like this room size or something. I can pull it in here like that, and maybe also pull this in All right. So then I want to make sure that I do two things. Whenever I have made a lot of changes, say like at a time period that you would traditionally save your project, instead of saving it traditionally using the save icon, which only saves this file locally to your computer, I want to synchronize to the central model. The central model is the cloud model that you made that is now stored on ACC. So to do that, I can either use this little shortcut here of synchronize and modify settings, or I can use this shortcut or this actual button here of synchronize and modify settings. These are the same buttons, so don't get too confused about which is which. It's the same button. But since I'm already in the collaborate tab, I will go ahead and click this button. Do a left click, and this window will pop up. And yes, this is the central model location that I want to save it in. I'm going to click OK. So it is basically saving the changes that I made to this local model to the central model. So now that I've saved and synchronized with central, the second thing that I must do is relinquish all mine, this button. This releases ownership of the work sets and borrowed elements that have not been changed. So I'm going to left click this. If you do not left click the relinquish mine, anybody who comes up behind you on this project and opens it, they still will be able to interact with the model. However, they will not be able to interact with the elements that you changed. So for example, I changed this wall and I changed this wall. If I had not clicked relinquish all mine, it would have been locked for them, and they would have gotten a notification here in the bottom right hand corner saying so and so has these elements locked, please contact them. And that can be very frustrating and tiresome. So please remember to, one, synchronize with central and relinquish mine very often, about as often as you would want to save your project traditionally. And that's pretty much it for setting up a central model and then interacting with it. If you are ready to close your model, say I'm done with my work, so-and-so is going to come up behind me and work on it, or even just work at the same time as me, but I'm done with my stuff. After synchronizing with central and relinquishing all mine, I can go ahead and close. It is okay if you close this way. You don't have to click this extra save button. It's already saved it all for you with the synchronize with central and relinquish all mine. So I'm going to go ahead and close Revit. All right. So say that I am now a project team member who did not make the central model. Remember that once the central model is made, it's made. So you don't have to do the setup for it again. You can just go ahead and use it, and your team members, if they have access to the folder in ACC, they should also be able to access it just fine. So to do that, I'm going to show you what a team member should see on their end. So we're in ACC right now. I'm in the AE-221 Fall 2025 folder. And then I'm going to navigate to the folder that I saved it in. Here it is, Project 1 Test that I did. All right. So I know that great, it's saved in the right location and the people who needs access has access. So now I will open up Revit as someone who has not opened up Revit yet to work on this project. We're going to give it a little bit of time to load in. And it should take us right to the home page. All right, so this again is the Revit 2026 homepage. As someone who has not yet worked on this project but needs to, I'm going to navigate to Autodesk Projects. Also, this is the way that you would navigate to this project if, say, you did make the model, but you're just entering it again. Say you closed Revit, walked away for a couple of hours, come back, I want to work on it some more. This is the exact same method you would use. So you're going to go to Revit, Autodesk Projects, navigate to the folder that you saved it in, test Workshare, and you're going to select with a left click the project that you want to open. Again, here you can see who last modified the project if they have synced to Central and relinquished recently. So I last modified it, and this was the time that I did it at. So I'm going to select the project, and it should open the model. All right, give it a little bit of time. And here is that central model that everyone's been working on. You can see that the recent changes that were made. You know, this wall was moved in, this wall was moved in. Let's say I want to make some changes, some more. We're going to move this wall in, and let's delete these walls. Sure. So then I've made my changes. To save or to sync with Central, again, go to Collaborate tab, Synchronize with Central. Everyone who works on this project will have to do these steps. It's super important that you do so. So then everybody is working on the most recent version of the Central model. I'm going to click OK. Saving to Central. Awesome. VDI has gotten a lot faster since we've been working on it. Since we've been working in VDI, as you can tell. I'm going to relinquish all mine. Wonderful. And then you just keep doing that. Everyone can work on the project one after another, or even simultaneously all at the same time. Just remember to continuously sync with Central and relinquish. Say if someone made some changes, you know, they're working right next to me and they've moved this wall down here, you know, and this wall moved in more. You know, even though they are doing it live right next to me, it's not going to show up live right in front of me on my computer. To see their changes, I must sync, well, they must sync with Central, and I also must sync with Central. And make sure that it's procedural. Don't try to sync with Central at the exact same time, or else Revit can get confused and slow down a lot. You know, if they've made changes and they say, hey, can everyone see my changes? Make sure that they have synced and relinquished. And then once it's done, make sure that you get the okay from them so then you can sync and then see their changes, and your screen will update automatically. Okay, so then again, that make sure that it's procedural. That one person makes changes, syncs, relinquishes, and then that you sync and you can see their changes. And then again, once it's all done, or you're done working on the project for now, after you've synced and relinquished, you can click the close or the X to close Revit, just like before. And that's it. This is the Workshare method for working collaboratively in Revit on the same project.